Good morning, good afternoon. Not sure when you might be watching this, but hello! Welcome to another week of school, and I'm doing an update this week. I know I didn't do an update last week. Let me show you what I was doing, why I didn't do an update last week. Here, you can come with me. Just take this off. Break it. There we go. Okay. Go traveling. My office, and that's why. Yeah, working on our upcoming tour, so I had lots of resources out. I was told to focus on, guess what? Writing, so that's what I'm doing. Following orders, and that's what I have been developing, and you might have seen me tweet that out. Pretty excited about it. The little workbook I'll have to give away, along with, well, hopefully some of these copies of like the standards, preferably the vertical standards, printed out as part of my workshop. But let's take this and we can talk about it. We're going to talk about writing a blueprint for writing expectations in Oklahoma classrooms, but I got to know, what are your writing expectations? Oh, you can see it starts. So that's why I didn't do a message last week. I really got to get all sorts of prints and the presentation ready and lots of things scheduled. More on that later, but first I want to kick off, of course, with my reading list suggestion. If you've been following since the beginning of my little videos this school year, I talked about making your own reading lists, just good short articles that kind of help us think about reading, really for any of those education geeks out there like myself who just love to read more and learn more and test and experiment in the classroom. So this week I have an article called 5 Smart Habits to Develop for Back to School. Now these aren't habits for students, they're habits for teachers. Now here's just a brief rundown. Move beyond the textbook is number 1. Become an expert in one tool. That's number 2. Number 3 is read about all things education. Check. Number 4, revisit your homework strategy. Number 5, make a professional development schedule. Become an expert in one tool. Yeah, my tool, of course, if you didn't know, is Evernote. I want to become an expert in that. That's if you wanted one tool to become an expert on, it could be maybe Evernote and creating a reading list and read about all things education. I'm doing that right here. Revisit your homework strategy. You know, there's lots of great research online to where you could create a persuasive, argumentative lesson plan about whether or not homework should be part of your daily classroom practices with your students. Get them to read and research, have them argue for and against. See if they can practice their persuasive and argumentative writing about that subject. And of course, make a professional development schedule. Well, I got a couple dates to add to your schedule, as I alluded to in the beginning. On Thursday of this week, I'll be in Norman at the INSEAD, presenting at the Indian Education Summit. Looking forward to that. And Saturday, the 27th, I will be presenting at the Oklahoma Council Teachers of English Fall Conference. Looking forward to seeing lots of friends there. And here is just a draft of our big tour. This is the big Mamma Jamma. 2 to 3 hours of professional development in the morning and the afternoon, just like we've been doing the past, I guess, 2 years almost now. Yeah, I'll be hitting my 2-year mark in October. If I make it, hopefully I make it. And it starts and kicks off in Durant on September 29th. I'll be driving up there on Sunday. Hey, maybe you want to meet up on Sunday night and talk shop. The next night, yeah, this is a big tour. We're going to just hit lots of places multiple times. It's going to be a long, long week to be away from home, but the next night we'll be in Idabel. The next night I'll be in Tallahena. And then in Thursday, end that week in Tahlequah. Then we start the whole thing back up the next week. Of course, driving up on a Sunday. Looks like we'll be coming to Guyman and working our way back. So look up for our Eventbrite, sign up for that. Of course, it's free, and I hope it's enjoyable to you. All right, so resources. I know I've spoken about it before, but they're kicking it off again. Newspapers and Education. It's an Oklahoma resource that gives you, well, newspapers, and free lesson plans and resources to use in the classroom. Check out their website, look at all the great things they have to engage students in some nonfiction critical reading and critical thinking skills. Otherwise, updates if you haven't heard, this is a week old, but yeah, Oklahoma and the waiver. We don't have the waiver for NCLB anymore, and you can read all about that on the OSDE home site. You can see Superintendent's blog post about that, talking about it. Also in the news, some people are pretty excited about this, the 5th and 8th grade writing scores are not going to be factored into the A through F's report card this year. So those are two big pieces of news, and I think that is it for the week. Hope you enjoyed that reading suggestion, and I hope you start looking at your calendars and come say hi to me at our regional tour. And I'll release more dates as they become available as we get their venues confirmed. Otherwise, I'll be working on that presentation aspect, making sure it's good to go and hopefully engaging and helpful for everybody. And until next week, take care of yourself, take care of your students, and take care of each other. I'll see you around.